Hello everybody, welcome along to the second episode of Captain Crunch's Current Affair. My name is Jack MacKenzie, and joining me on the mic are not the people from last week, because they've all been deployed in cadets, so salute the troops. So instead, we have James, and we have the wonderful Chris Whitfield, who I have done many a broadcast with in the past. And we'll, of course, be going over some of the most ludicrous news stories that we have been able to find over the course of the week. So, gentlemen, welcome along.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Right. So, welcome along to the show, and I think without further ado, we should discuss our very first news story of the day. So, should we get into it?
Let's do this.
Alright, so I have the first story of the day, and because we didn't do one last week, I think it's only right that we do a Florida man story.
Oh no.
So, obviously, Florida man always doing something interesting, so thankfully I was able to find a story, and I thought this was probably one of the best ones that I found for this week. So, Florida man arrested for having Trump-shaped ecstasy pills.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
Alright, so this is on ABC News, not the Australian ABC News, the American ABC News, and this article was written by Morgan Windsor and Ella Torres. So, a Florida man was arrested after he was caught with 5 ecstasy pills that were the color orange and in the shape of President Donald Trump's face, authorities said.
Why?
We'll probably
Why?
we'll get into that. So, a good question. I don't know. Bear in mind, this is Florida, so it is the land of not being particularly rational. So, Brendan Dolan King, aged 23, had the ecstasy pills hidden inside his air vent at his home in the city of Clearwater, according to an arrest report from the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office, I believe that is.
Pinellas County.
Pinellas County, yes. So, they were labeled Trump NL, according to the report. A spokesman for the Clearwater Police Department told ABC News that the officers occasionally find ecstasy pills in different shapes, including ones featuring a Batman or Superman logo.
No, just as you do.
Yes. Yeah. So, however, he added, we have not seen one in this shape before. And there's a picture of the man on my screen, and well, it pretty much just is the what you would expect a Florida man who does ecstasy to look like.
Long hair.
So, police also allegedly found a tan powder in the air vents, which was later positively identified as fentanyl through lab testing. The testing also confirmed that the Trump-shaped tablets were MDMA, commonly known as ecstasy, according to police. Police were responding to a call about an overdose Friday night when they made the discovery, according to the report. Dolan King was a resident of the home where the overdose happened, the report said. He was charged with possession of a controlled substance. It was not immediately clear if Dolan King had legal representation. Right, so,
I don't trust anyone named Dolan King.
First of all,
I don't even think I've ever seen or met anyone named Dolan before.
The biggest question that I have is, were they chewable?
Well, they haven't gone into detail about.
Because I remember the Flintstones. Do you guys have in Australia? Do you guys have the Flintstones chewable vitamins?
I don't think so.
I don't think we have them anymore, if we did ever have them.
Basically, you have, like, a little orange vitamin tablet, and, it, looked like it was orange, and it, looked like Fred Flintstone.
Right, so this one is just, pretty much, I'm assuming pretty much just that in the shape of Donald Trump, and contains MDMA. Anyway, we'll just
I always give people, a state of ecstasy. This is my brand. Trump,
Right.
the ecstasy.
Yes, well, all right, so everyone's audio is working correctly, just to check once we've started up the podcast. So I should
Yeet.
explain we were having some issues with this before.
Some.
Some issue, well, yes, well, a few more than some issues. So everyone's audio is working?
Yep.
Okay, fantastic. Good to hear. Right, well, okay, so that was an interesting news story, and I thought that was a good one to start off the day with. Right, who would like to take our second story of the day?
You can go, Chris.
I'll have a go. A woman claims that drinking her dog's urine helps cure her acne. She also claims that it can cure cancer. This was from EssexLive.news by Zara Mulroy, Oliver MacKenzie, and Tommy Wathen.
Oh, well, somebody's shaming my family name. Thank you very much, whoever the author of that article was.
Proper journalism.
Yes.
Some people will try any type of cream or lotion to clear their skin. But would you go as far as drinking a dog's urine? The majority of us would say no. But that's exactly what blogger Lynn Liu from America has been doing.
Of course she is.
Back of the lift, Lynn! She claims that drinking her dog urine has helped her to clear her acne and has given her a glow. In a video posted online, Lynn explained her theory and how it has worked for her. She said, "Many of you have asked me how I always look so good, how my makeup is always looks so perfect, and how I always have this natural glow." She then collects a cup full of urine from her dog and drinks it.
Oh my god. For the love of God, why?
After finishing the unique drink, she continued.
Beverage, yes.
She continued, "Until I drank my dog's pee, I was depressed, I was sad, and I had bad acne." As reported by Cambridgeshire Live, she then offered some questionable facts about dog urine and its properties. Dog pee has vitamin A in it, vitamin E in it, and it has 10 grams of calcium. And it's also proven to help cancer, she said. While urotherapy...
Really?
Yes, apparently. While urotherapy used to be practiced in ancient China, Rome, Greece, and Egypt, it is not a practice which health experts today endorse. Not only that, but no studies have provided sufficient evidence of its efficiency or health benefits. It's a bizarre concept, says Mr. Zaki Amala, consultant urologist at the BMI Priory Hospital in Birmingham. The kidneys filter the blood and the excess fluids and salts and minerals are expelled. The point of urination is to rid the body of excess. Now, why would you want to reabsorb that, he asks pertinently. The only time it's medically... Yeah, exactly. The only time it is medically recommended to ingest urine is if you're stranded without food or water for many days. You know, like in the movie Waterworld.
Oh.
All I can say to is this.
Right, so what evidence... I'm mainly interested to see what evidence is there to suggest that this helps with cancer treatment.
She's American.
What does it actually say on that? All right, then. Fair enough. So America is so desperate that the healthcare system is rubbish that they've turned to dog urine.
Yep.
By the sounds of it. So she says that that it helps her skin, and it helps with cancer treatment based on absolutely zero evidence at all.
Apart from her own delusions, yes.
All right, fair enough.
Well,
Good science.
good on her, I guess.
And this has been Science Corner with Chris Whitfield.
Ah, yes, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh god, this is gonna gag now, isn't it? Already two shows in.
Well, if you come, if you come back on the show, then I'm sure you could do science gag again. Anyway, I feel like we should move on from dog urine in case it grosses everybody out. James, what do you have for us?
Okay. Man weirded out that someone broke into his home just to clean it. This is from the Huffington Post. It doesn't say who wrote it, but in Massachusetts, Nate Roman tells the Boston Globe that when he returned to his Marlborough home from work, he could tell a stranger had been there. Nothing was missing, but the 44-year-old noticed that beds were made, rugs were vacuumed, and the toilets scrubbed. Even the crafted origami roses on the toilet paper rolls. He called the experience weird and creepy and contacted police. Sergeant Daniel Campbell said that the department hasn't heard of similar episodes and that there are no suspects. Roman says that he may have left his back door unlocked and thinks perhaps a housekeeping service went into his home by mistake. What do you think?
You know, this actually was an episode... I think this is a homage to the episode of The Big Bang Theory where Sheldon goes in and cleans Penny's apartment with Leonard while she's sleeping. Season 1, Episode 2.
Oh my god, why? Please don't let it do that.
Yeah,
I'm surprised this wasn't in Florida, actually, I have to say.
I'm not sure where this is, but,
Oh, he said Massachusetts.
Oh, it's
Yes,
in Massachusetts. Okay. They're not completely crazy in Mass, but
It's not Florida.
it's not Florida.
No, it's not Florida.
I think by the end of this, I'm gonna have to add Florida to the list of places I'm not allowed in.
Oh, yes. Well, okay, I should explain to viewers of, or to listeners of Captain Crunch's Current Affair. Chris and I do another podcast called Motorsport Recently, and,
Shameless plug.
well, I think what Chris Whitfield has in common with Elon Musk is that they both need a mute button, because we're pretty much, because we'd almost be, we're pretty much banned everywhere, because we've previously insulted the French, well, we've insulted the French a lot. I think we might be banned from Argentina as well.
Oh my god.
And now we're banned from Florida. So I'll have to listen to all the episodes of Motorsport Recently and re-listen to this episode as well. And I'll have to compile a list of places in which Chris Whitfield or any other members of either podcast are banned from visiting.
But I'm not banned in Australia.
You're not banned in Australia yet.
Yes.
Touch wood.
Yet. Touch wood. Well, in my case, probably some strange composite material of whatever that.
Touch wood grain.
Anyway, right. Okay. So the man's broken into somebody's house just to clean it. Is there anything more on that story, or is there?
Oh, that was it.
I mean,
All right. So they don't know who this is. They've
It doesn't say.
I mean, creepy though it is, I wouldn't say no to that.
I mean, as long as they didn't steal anything, I'd be alright. It's probably better than the cleaner that we have that takes probably about 6 hours to clean our house.
Yeah, it says like nothing was taken. It was just like
nothing was taken. Somebody's just being nice.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Right. Should I do a story actually?
Go ahead.
All right, so I have a story. This one is from the Huffington, well, it's from HuffPost, and does it say who the author is down below? No, it doesn't. Okay, right. Well, so last week on Captain Crunch, you'll probably remember we did have a lot of animal stories. Now, I have another animal story, because animals seem to be doing very, very strange things all the time. well, especially in the past couple of weeks. So the headline for this story is "Vomiting Vultures Invade Florida Vacation Home." So we have
Of
another
course
story
it's
from
Florida.
Yes,
Why
it's
are there
Florida.
vultures
Of
in
course
Florida?
it's Florida.
Since when are there vultures in Florida?
Good question. Right, a neighbor described the encounter as a vile, vicious, traumatic event. Right, let's
Fair enough.
let's talk about this. So, West Palm Beach in I'm assuming that's Florida.
It is Florida.
A New York couple's luxurious vacation house in Florida has been taken over by dozens of black vultures that are vomiting and defecating everywhere.
That is disgusting.
Yes, the Palm Beach Post reports that the Casimano family can't even visit the $702,000 home they purchased earlier this year in the Ibis Golf and Country Club.
That's an F.
Now, I'm gonna say that's Saiban. It's probably completely wrong. I think that's an Irish name. And I'm gonna look back at it later. And it's like,
how do you spell it?
I think
it's spelled. It's
like
probably completely wrong.
Chauvin?
It's Siobhan.
Jackie, you should know.
Siobhan.
Siobhan.
Isn't
Siobhan.
it like Siobhan or something?
Siobhan. I don't know. Right, we'll call well, it's a member of the Casimano family. Anyway, described the smell as like 1,000 rotting corpses. The vultures have destroyed screen enclosures and have overtaken the pool and barbecue. The few times the family has visited, they've had to park their car in the garage or the birds peck at them with their beaks. A neighbor, Cheryl Katz, tells the Post that she's got it even worse because she lives next door to a person who is feeding the vultures and other wildlife.
Oh my god.
In May, she said, vultures tore through her pool enclosure and couldn't figure out how to get out. Imagine 20 vultures trapped biting each other, and then they can bite through bones, she said.
That's terrifying.
They would bang against my windows, running away from a bird that was attacking them. Blood was everywhere. It was a vile, vicious, traumatic event. And it was Memorial Day, so no company I called would come out to help me.
Oh,
Finally,
that's terrible.
3 police officers arrived. They removed the screens and shooed away the vultures. Since she has chronic
Lymphoma.
chronic. Well, no. It's lymphotic leukemia, which leaves her, which is actually that's quite sad actually, which leaves her vulnerable to infections. She's had to be extra careful going outside, even having someone power wash the patio twice. The homeowners blame Katz's neighbor, who they claim is excessively feeding wildlife. Katz said that she has seen the neighbor give bags of dog foot. You heard me correctly, dog foot, not food. Yes, and even a roasted.
Keeps getting better. Oh my god.
And even a roasted chicken to the vultures. Again, this is Florida, so it makes sense.
Yeah, fair enough.
Neighborhood Association President Gordon Holt. Neighborhood Association President Gordon Holness said they warned the woman, but they're limited in what they can do because vultures, as migratory birds, are protected by federal law. Holness said vultures were not a problem in the neighborhood before this spring. He said they've contacted the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission to issue a warning, but so far they've been ignored by the neighbor. Katz said she spoke to someone at the U.S. Wildlife Service and learned it's hard to get a permit to kill a black vulture. People have suggested scaring them with fireworks or balloons, but that doesn't seem to work for long. Katz even tried putting out 4 fake owls that have moving heads and blinking lights. The vulture chewed the owls apart, she said.
Sure, give them toys.
Oh, this story just keeps getting better. Oh my god.
So that's the end of that story. I think the Huffington Post, they actually did post an update on this story. So if somebody else wants to take a story, I'll see if I can get the update on this particular story for the end of the show.
First of all, I just want to say, when I first heard of this story, I was like, are you sure it wasn't just some guy and his friend vomiting? Some guy and his friend drunk, vomiting and using the facilities on this person's lawn.
I mean, it's Florida. That could happen.
Like, I gotta take it. I can't say that word, but you know what I. Are you sure it wasn't that? You go over there, Peter. I'll go over here next to the fountain. We'll meet in the middle.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
And that's me drunk.
Good impression.
Alright, okay. Does anyone else have
I have a story.
Yes.
A German city has offered a $1.1 million bounty to whoever proves that it doesn't exist. This is from the Associated Press. A German city that's been the subject of a long-running proves it's true. Officials in Bielefeld said Wednesday they'll give 1 million euros, 1.1 million US dollars, to the person who delivers solid proof of its non-existence. They said there are no limits to creativity for entrants, but only incontrovertible evidence will qualify for the prize. The idea that Bielefeld doesn't exist was first floated by computer expert Achim Held, who posted the satirical claim on the internet in 1994 in an effort to poke fun at online conspiracy theories. German Chancellor Angela Merkel once jokingly cast doubt about the existence of Bielefeld, which is allegedly located 330 kilometers west of Berlin. $1.1 million, and I honestly, like, when I was looking for the story, I actually I already made a punchline of, like, a joke of it, saying the actual name of the city was New Zealand, but yeah,
no, it's just Australia in general. Australia just doesn't exist.
But we love Australia. But I love Australia and I love New Zealand. They give us IndyCar champions.
Yes. We should probably keep motorsport chat to a minimum because I don't think most of the people who actually listen to this watch motorsports. It's just us two, Chris. So
why do you think I cut my Pierre Gasly joke? But I also have another one.
Oh yes.
If you'd like.
It's sure far away. Just don't waste all your stories.
This was my third and last.
Okay.
Everybody is appalled by Wario's poor excuse for nipples. This is from the AV Club. This is from the AV Club, written by Kevin Cortez. Yesterday.
Oh my god.
This week, the official Twitter account of Sega posted a 4-minute clip of the upcoming Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games 2020. The video... Go ahead.
The best games. They are very compelling.
Yes.
I don't know why they exist, but they do.
Basically, I think it's like Wii Sports Resort.
Yeah,
Remember that? I'm old. The video shows off some new gameplay from the upcoming Nintendo Switch title that actually looks pretty fun. There's a mode to play the Olympic Games from 1964, the last time Tokyo hosted the Olympics. That's tinged in an 8-bit and 16-bit aesthetic. Ooh. There's fencing, soccer, swimming, and the opportunity to be totally rad while skateboarding as Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh god, that is the worst thing I've ever heard in my life.
What's wrong with Sonic the Hedgehog?
It's Sonic Riders has returned. Fantastic. If anyone's played Sonic Riders, it's actually quite underrated, I have to say.
Like, let's be real, Sonic games are just like soundtracks with games in the back.
And then there was Sonic CD, which is a Sonic game with a amazing short movie.
Oh no.
Yes.
Sonic CD. Sonic CD is my favorite Sonic game, just for the cutscene at the start.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Much like people watch Ridge Racer not Ridge Racer. That's why most people watch R Racing Revolution for the cutscenes with number 76. But all glorious features aside, the trailer also gives us, for some ungodly reason, a shirtless Wario. And Wario evidently barely has any nipples.
That's hot.
Did you just say that's hot?
No, I didn't.
Sure. Anyway, we have this on. We're recording this so we can listen to it back later. Anyway,
here we see a shirtless Dr. Robotnik standing next to a shirtless Wario.
Oh no!
And can we get some F's for my eardrums?
F.
Oh no! You cannot have a shirtless Dr. Robotnik. That's disgusting.
Oh, this is cursed in so many ways.
That is so cursed. Oh my goodness. Anyway, please continue.
Notice the Eggman's shape and how true to scale his nipples appear. Good job, guys.
Why?
Frankly, he looks how every Sonic fan wants him to look shirtless. First of all, there's people that want to know how Dr. Robotnik looks shirtless.
Yes, it's the Sonic community. It's the Sonic community. Have you seen the fan art that community produces?
Yeah, the Sonic community. We don't.
Of course,
I'm gonna go down.
Not surprised.
You're gonna need the safe search off, listeners.
Yes.
But
yes.
Frankly, so though we wouldn't be surprised if it got a little heated about this thing. As for Wario's body, well, the nipples are there. You just can't really see them because they don't protrude. Developers literally gave Wario opaque areolas. That's pretty wild considering Mario's sunshine glistening nipples are canon now.
Oh my god.
As is the plumber's pipe.
Hold up.
Okay, is the plumber's pipe a euphemism?
Don't know. I've just looked up the Wario thing. And you can actually see there are very, very, very small nipples there.
Oh
however, because his neck is actually pretty much fused into his body, it looks like it looks like he has an arse cheek on his chest. So.
This is the story that keeps on giving.
This is disgusting. Okay.
It's also pretty odd that Nintendo's infamous biker boy has no hair on his body aside from his mustache. He should realistically be giving Zangief a run for his hairy money.
Honestly, that is true.
Maybe Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games Paris 2024 will fix Sega's mistake and add some texture to the beloved anti-hero's chest. Maybe we'll see Luigi with a cute little happy trail climbing up his body!
Oh no! Oh my God, oh, you did not just say that. I'm actually dead.
Maybe we'll even see... No, it gets worse.
Oh no.
Maybe we'll even see Waluigi's ass. Only time will tell.
Oh no! Oh, they went there. They went to Waluigi.
No!
Wah! I didn't want to see that.
Oh my God, I can't top that. I cannot top that.
And we've died.
Yes.
Yes, we have. Should we move on to a different story? Because I think.
Oh, for the love of God, please.
Okay, I have one.
Alright, go ahead.
Saxophone playing dad serenades cows by the roadside. By Hilary Hansen on the Huffington Post. Okay. The internet is over the moon, I'm so sorry, for an Oregon dad who's gone viral for serenading a herd of cows with some sweet saxophone jams. My parents are such goofs, they drove me out to the back roads so my dad could play the cows the songs he's been learning on the saxophone, wrote Erin Herman alongside the 2 video clips she tweeted on Tuesday. The 2 videos show her shorts-clad father, Rick Herman, playing a handful of tunes, including George Michael's Careless Whisper, as a large group of cows.
I can already hear Joe. If Joe were here, he'd be going mental now.
As a large group of cows scattered throughout a field walk over and gather near him. Rick Herman told Portland-based news station KGW8 that he's been playing sax for about 7 months, but so far only really practiced in front of his relatives and dog. After he saw a video of people playing music for animals, his wife suggested they take his act to the cow-adjacent road. He said he didn't expect such a dramatic reaction from the bovines. I thought they might be curious, he said. I didn't expect them to crowd the fence so much. Erin Herman told the Daily Dot that the cows seem to respond better than the family dog does. Okay. When he practices saxophone, my dog hates it so much, and she even chewed up his reeds. Aww. She said. My dad thought that maybe the cows would appreciate his music even if our dog doesn't. The videos won her further numerous fans on Twitter, including legendary saxophonist Kenny G. And then there's more, but yeah. Why? I don't know.
Oh. Oi.
Oh my God. Just as you do.
Saxophone. I wonder if they went to listen to Squidward's clarinet.
Oh, please.
Solitude in A minor.
A minor! Oh, the news has been an absolute treat this week, and we're not even finished yet.
I still have another great one.
I have 2 more good ones actually, because I've gone and found another one actually.
Oh no!
So
I actually have a semi-serious news story, which is somewhat entertaining.
Oh no!
All right, so this is from.
Sorry. I'm just thinking of Luigi's Goody Trail.
No, don't do that to me.
God.
Oh my God.
Right, okay.
An extraordinarily cursed image.
Yes.
Move on, please.
Right, okay. Right, I have a story from ABC News, which is semi-serious but entertaining if you can appreciate it. So this article was written by Josh Bavis or Bavis. And the headline is Queensland Premier's office accidentally reveals ASIO's ASIO agent's name. Now, for those of you who don't know, ASIO is Australia's equivalent of MI6 or the CIA. So, this is the story we have here. The Queensland Premier's office has apologised for publicly revealing the name of an ASIO agent. The name was made was made available online after Premier Anastasia Palzak's. Okay, we'll go weird. With. Okay, it's spelled Palszczuk.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Palaszczuk, but yeah, whatever.
Palaszczuk.
Palaszczuk. Okay, we'll go with Palaszczuk. I really need to work on my pronunciation of foreign names. Anyway, right. Anyway, ministerial diaries were published detailing meetings with security officials. The name was swiftly removed. If I could talk today, that would be fantastic. Removed after the Premier's office was contacted by The Guardian, which broke the story and reported that the name was online for at least a month. A spokesman for Premier Palszczuk, or whatever her name is, said it was an administrative error. Yes, it was. It was removed, he said. We apologise and steps have been taken to ensure it doesn't happen again. The identities of ASIO operatives are kept secret. Well, of course they're kept secret. They're secret agents. That's kind of the point. Naming an agent without consent carries a maximum penalty of 10 years in jail. The Premier is yet to make a public statement on the matter. Opposition leader Deb Frecklington has called for an investigation, calling it an absolute disgrace. It is compromised national security and compromised an intelligence officer who is serving our nation, said... Miss Frecklington said. A full investigation must be carried out into this farce by the Palszczuk administration. I'm really sick of saying that name. Alright, I need a pronunciation, guys. Home Affairs Minister Peter Dutton, that is a name I can do, and he has been in the news quite a lot, actually, declined to comment and directed media inquiries to ASIO. ASIO said in a brief statement it had no comment on the matter. I refer to you the Australian Security Intelligence Organisation Act 1979 S92, publication of identity of ASIO employee or ASIO affiliate, the statement said. So, very, very good job. Revealing secret agent identities.
Way to dox one of your employees, you idiots.
This is literally the story of
Australian government.
This is the story of Skyfall, of I believe pretty much every Mission Impossible movie, and then also, you wouldn't really expect it to actually be revealed by a Queensland Premier. It'd usually be some organisation who wants to expose the names of secret agents to aid their own cause. But very good job, Queensland. So obviously that was an administrative error, but I'm not entirely sure how you can actually make a colossal mistake such as that. But
remember that time, I think it was the start of last year in Hawaii, when some guy accidentally set off a nuclear bomb alert.
Oh yes, of course.
Oh my god, yeah. I was in Hawaii when we got that, and my mum checked her phone and she saw that and she legit started crying. I'm like, oh, okay, this is interesting. See, that was fun.
Yeah, right. Escaping from nuclear missiles.
Yes.
Anyway, if nobody else has anything more to say on that story, we might move on to. Does anyone else have any other stories? Because if you don't, I have another one.
Go on ahead.
All right. This other one, and I think we might make this our final story for the day because we are coming up to 45 minutes, and that would be perfect to finish just then. So, the headline of this is from Sky News, and as Harrison said on last week's show, it's the home of fake news. He was then immediately met with Joe responding with, "Are you sure you want to say that on a news podcast, even though you're about to reference that?" So, it doesn't say who wrote this article, but whatever the case. German boy, 8 years old, crashes parents' car in second high-speed joyride of the week.
Oh
Wait a
my
minute,
God.
is German boy the European equivalent of Florida man?
Perhaps he's an emerging superhero. I'm going to assume. So the child hit speeds of 110 miles an hour before
God.
crashing, days after his mother gave him a stern talking to for pulling a similar stunt.
Is his last name Schumacher?
No, his last name is not Schumacher. We might find that out in a second. I don't think it says the name, but I'll read through and see, and we'll find out. So, an 8-year-old boy is receiving counselling after crashing his parents' car on his second high-speed drive of the week. After stealing the keys to the family's Volkswagen Golf in the early hours of Friday morning, the child from Soest in northwestern Germany drove 31 miles, 50 Ks to the city, and nobody stopped him. 50 kilometers to the city of Dortmund. Police in the city said.
Wait, this kid's 8 again.
He's 8 years old. He reached speeds of 110 miles an hour, 180 kilometers an hour on the motorway, officers added. Red traffic lights and traffic laws in general did not seem to interest the driver, police said in a statement, quoting a motorist who spotted the youngster. However, the joyride ended badly when, the officers searching for him, he drove out of town and crashed the vehicle into the trailer of a parked truck. Nobody was injured, but the Golf was badly damaged in what was his second such jaunt in less than a week. His mother said on Wednesday she'd given her son a stern talking to after waking up to find him and the car gone. That time he was clocked at 87 miles an hour, 140 kilometers an hour on the motorway. The youngster was eventually found on a motorway when he had pulled up and put the hazard lights on. Police said the boy, who has experience driving bumper cars and go-karts, will now be given psychological counselling. I was going to refrain from referring to motorsport in this episode, but please, for the love of God, buy this kid a race card.
Somebody hire him.
But yes, give him a drive, please. He's practically begging for it.
This story is legitimately impressive. I'm not even kidding.
I'm not even mad. No, it's I'm not even mad. That's amazing. I'm just
yeah.
Honestly,
what I find incredibly impressive is for an 8-year-old. His attention to detail with pulling over at the side of the road and putting his hazard lights on.
How does an 8-year-old know what the hazard lights are
I don't know. I mean, at 8, I'm sure I didn't know what the hazard lights did. I'm sure I wouldn't know exactly when to actually use them. But if I'd stolen a car at 8, I surely wouldn't have pulled over and actually put the hazard lights on. I think that's quite impressive. So, and we say this whilst the Suzuka 10 Hours is currently streaming to YouTube, and I'm actually surprised that this kid isn't in that race. So
he will be in a few years.
He will be in a few years, and whatever his name is, it's Sam Collins who's on broadcast right now. He'll be saying that this kid started his racing career after stealing his parents' Volkswagen Golf and being clocked at 110 miles an hour.
I don't think I know which one's more impressive. The fact that he went 110 miles an hour.
Yes.
Or the fact that he did it in a VW Golf.
Yeah. It doesn't say. I'll see if I can see what.
Was it a diesel?
It doesn't say. There's no photos of this, but whatever the case, I mean that's brilliant.
Take him to the Nordschleife.
Take him to the Nordschleife, exactly. Tell you what, on the next episode of Motorsport recently, we might even bring that up. Anyway,
I'm already writing that into miscellaneous stories and points that we missed, and therefore covering now TM Bing.
See, I said to somebody during the week that shameless plugs are what I do best. Anyway, yes, okay. So, I don't think. Does anyone else have any stories that they want to talk about?
I've got one more.
All right, go ahead. We've just passed 45 minutes, but it might need some editing, so I think we have time. So go ahead.
This is from boingboing.net.
Yes. Okay. Great
name.
start already.
A Florida raccoon has been freed from a vending machine.
Oh, I saw this. I saw this on
Florida, okay.
I think I saw this in the news. Yeah. Anyway, continue.
The sheriff in Volusia County, Florida, reports that, quote, a gentleman was apprehended today while committing a burglary of a vending machine at Pine Ridge High School. Spokesman adds the AP, the Associated Press. Spokesman Andrew Gant says that a deputy stationed at Pine Ridge High School was notified of a trapped raccoon Wednesday and called animal control for assistance. A vending machine operator was also contacted to unlock the door. They rolled the vending machine to an open area of the school, and after about 2 hours, the raccoon was set free. The sheriff's...
I mean, I know he lost his entire family, but Rocket's really sunk to a new low.
Nice.
Anyway, yes, continue.
The sheriff's Facebook posting has a lot of boomer energy in the comments.
Oh no.
What's a boomer? I'm old. I need these things explained to me.
Oh, we could get very into this.
Okay, we'll explain afterwards.
Yeah.
Like, someone put, does anyone know who Ken McCauley and... actually, I'm reading this putting my old man glasses on. Does anyone know who Ken McCauley? Period. And did you read the comment he made on the raccoon in the vending machine? Period. Check it out. And someone commented to that, I read that crap. I will not comment, comma, because I will not lower my standards with an apostrophe S and 3 exclamation points.
Oh my goodness, okay.
What was it? The grammar alone does my head in.
Yeah.
The grammar alone does my head in, and I'm glad that, but I will say, honestly, I am glad that, that the raccoon has been freed, and,
Yes.
Yes.
That's a good thing to end on, I think.
And I think that is a good thing to end on. The news has been an absolute treat this week. Well, thank you very much for tuning in to Captain Crunch's Current Affair. I've been Jack MacKenzie, and joining me on the mic has been the wonderful Chris Whitfield and James. And we should have some of your usual hosts back next week. However, we are trying out some different things and see what sort of lineups work for this show. So you might be seeing a few different people on the show, but you guys have been fantastic today. And thank you very much for tuning in, the viewers. So like, subscribe, do all the rest of it, and we'll see you on the next episode of Captain Crunch's Current Affair. See you next time.
Goodbye.
Ta-ra!